Hello and welcome to the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. This is the special Election Watch series where we bring you all the news, the views and the interviews from the disability community.
H4P Organization, the authentic voice of ability for persons with disability, brings you the Helping Hand Election Watch series discussing the concerns from the disability community.
The political parties should be concerned and support the training of this taxa ballot because they are the ones we are going to vote for.
I've got to a place, steps up. How can you carry somebody 5 steps up to go and vote and then you carry him or her down?
So we look at how the voting papers are inclusive. We look at how the voting centers are inclusive.
The political parties will realize that persons with disability are the largest minority.
Election is in the air. We must vote based on policies, and our elected officials must know what actually we at the grassroots are going through, especially in the disability community. It is a special Election Watch series.
The Helping Hand Election Watch series with the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of the Helping Hand TV show, where we seek to throw the spotlight on the abilities of persons with disability. And like I say, you're welcome. Welcome to my world where disability is not inability. Special thanks to FCC, Fire City Chapel, and DV Unlimited Company Limited, my proud sponsors. And special thanks to you for tuning in. This is the special edition, is the Election Watch series of the Helping Hand TV show. I'll go for a quick break. I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Hello ladies and gentlemen, you are with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability, and today I want to introduce you to someone with so much ability. Some people call her the greatest friend, others call her the sweet companion, and others still call her the faithful worker. She is dependable, reliable and adorable, and she's committed to lending you a helping hand anytime, anywhere. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome DV Cleaners.
DV Cleaners Alata Samina Shower Gels, DV Cleaners Aloe Vera Shower Gels, DV Cleaners Body Lotions, DV Cleaners Hair Shampoos, DV Cleaners Hair Conditioners, DV Cleaners Liquid Detergents, DV Cleaners Hand Wash, DV Cleaners Floor Cleaners, DV Cleaners Toilet Cleaners, DV Cleaners Cake Soaps, and now introducing DV Cleaners Hand Sanitizers. For bulk purchase, call us on +233 278 308 246 or +233 244 467 326. DV Cleaners, one of the topmost made in Ghana products. DV Cleaners, proudly Ghanaian.
And so remember that anytime you purchase any of the DV Cleaners range of products, you are lending a helping hand to a person with disability, and you are supporting H4P Organization's special advocacy for persons with disability. DV Cleaners,
Nature's finest touch.
We gather to remember greatness. We gather to celebrate greatness. We gather to honor greatness. We gather to establish greatness. It's my singular honor to welcome you to this great event. This great event that brings together great minds from all over Ghana, Africa, and beyond.
Beautiful. This is beautiful for the good job done. This is wonderful and beautiful. Well done.
Wow. Put your hands together.
Bishop Dr. Charles, kindly extend H4P to Kenya. Your work is clearly seen, and your work is clearly seen, and your work is clearly seen. Thank you so much. May God bless you. May God bless H4P, and kindly pray for us as we go back to Kenya, hoping to see you in the next Chill Award.
It's finally here. It is the grand opening for nominations for the second edition of the prestigious Christina Hackman Impact Leadership Awards 2025. is the prestigious Shell Awards 2025, valid from 1st September to 31st December 2024. Eligibility for the second edition of the prestigious Shell Awards has to do with a person with disability or institutions of persons with disability who have contributed to national development with respect to leadership and impact in the following categories: 1. Education, 2. Entrepreneurship, and 3. Disability sports. Eligible applicants should kindly visit the Chill Awards website, www.chillawards.com. Kindly click on the process button and fill our online form with your details, providing supporting media and references. Click on the submit button and join the race to be part of the winners at the second edition of the prestigious Christina Hackman Impact Leadership Awards 2025. Is the prestigious Chill Awards 2025. For further inquiries, call H4P on +233 209 555 777 or +233 596 313 338 or +233 277 552 208. Remember, it is a grand opening for nominations for the second edition of the prestigious Christina Hackman Impact Leadership Awards, the prestigious Shell Awards 2025, valid from 1st September to 31st December 2024. H4P, bringing dignity to disability. H4P, perfection is our passion. Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
It's the Election Watch series on the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Today I have again my very good guest, the PR of H4P Organization, Mr. Philip Tete, and he's going to help me navigate these waters as the Election Watch series continues. Philip, thank you so much for your time again.
Thank you very much, Bishop, for having me.
Today we are going to continue with the Election Watch series, where we are bringing all the views, the news, the interviews, and the concerns from the disability community. And today my guest would be Mr. Abdul Wahab Adam. He's a disability inclusion and governance advisor at the Ghana Federation of Disability Organization. He's also a member of the Ghana Association of Persons with Albinism, GAPA. We are going to talk to him about some concerns from GAPA and the disability community as we race towards the elections. If anybody is to ask me to use one word to encapsulate all the problems we have in the disability community, the word I would use is discrimination. Definitely, right. Discrimination is a big issue for us here in the disability community, right?
Yeah, it is. And the H4P organization, we've made it our core mandate to keep working at it, keep advocating for persons with disability, keep creating the awareness, the fact that in our part of the world, when somebody has one form of disability or the other, we easily would associate it with superstitious beliefs, and we have superstitious interpretations to them, mystical explanations to them, and we hide behind the mystical explanations. We fail to do the needful. But the H4P organization, we've studied, we've engaged various professionals and individuals with disability. We've heard various stories, and it will amaze you the causes of the various kinds of disability, how sometimes the negligence on the part of some health practitioners would contribute to making somebody get one form of disability or the other, and other physical factors and all that. But the H4P organization, knowing that this is a Herculean task before us, we are committed to still creating the awareness using the Helping Hand television show and other public awareness projects we embark on to educate the populace on the need to embrace the disability community. And one of the things we are doing in this season, we are using the Election Watch series to discuss disability as it relates to elections. So every opportunity we get, we try to demystify the mystery around disability so that we can embrace it. And you know, Bishop, the moment you accept it, you take the right steps to be able to host it, to be able to make it not to be like a negative thing. How you accepting it helps you to convert a negative situation into a positive one. The situation may not change, but you create a conducive environment to be able to accommodate it so that you won't get the repercussions of it, but you get the benefits of it.
But Philip, isn't it interesting that this is the 21st century?
Yeah.
We are still having to fight and fight and fight for disability issues to be accepted. Modern day Ghana. Isn't it strange? Sometimes some of the worst offenders, when it comes to discrimination and stigmatization, some of the worst offenders are actually educated people.
That's rather unfortunate. That's rather unfortunate. And Bishop, I think it might have to be considered as a basic even course in school. It might be not a course that awards, marks, but sometimes we have some programs in school in our academic calendar that it exposes the children to real life situations. So it becomes like a life skills subject that we get to be exposed to issues of disability.
Civic education should come back to school,
it's
right?
quite surprising that a well-educated person, and this is the mindset a person has when it comes to disability, and you cannot blame the person too much because the person doesn't have the knowledge. And that is why we commend the H4P organization for the good job we are doing, that every day, every time we are bringing the knowledge home. We are visiting various homes through the Helping Hand television program every Saturday at 6 p.m. here on GTV to help us appreciate this whole thing about disability. It's quite unfortunate, but we know we'll definitely arrive there.
We'll definitely get there. I remember a popular thing that we used to talk about, that we will get there. We know we would, you know. It might take long. For me, my thing is this: if you discriminate against a person with disability and you get into that situation, would you be okay that somebody would discriminate against you?
Obviously not, Bishop. Obviously not. And I like something you do on the Helping Hand television show, how we don't only restrict ourselves to what is happening in Ghana, but you can go to a place like Singapore and bring the knowledge of the advancement, the development, the progress people are making when it comes to disability issues, so that it can help change the mindsets of people, so that we would have a better look at things, so that individuals can even realize that there are things they can do as private citizens to help this whole campaign on disability issues, so that the environment will be conducive. Because you step out to go to work and something happens, and you think that somebody who went to work got a car accident, the legs had to be amputated, and that is it. A new life has to begin altogether. And if the knowledge is there, immediately that happens, you know what to do. Because you won't think about societal perception and all kinds of interpretations people would give about your situation. We will definitely get there.
We will get there. We know we would. We know we would. It will take a lot of education. It will take a lot of hard work, a lot of persistence, and that is why I commend H4P for sticking to this for 13 good years, educating the society about the advantages, the benefits, the positive side of disability. Thank you so much, H4P. Philip, today our chat on the Election Watch series is with Mr. Abdul Wahab Adam. He is a disability inclusion and governance advisor at the Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations, and he's also a member of the Ghana Association for Persons with Albinism, GAPA. So I started by asking him whether persons with albinism have the opportunity to freely and fully participate in the electoral process. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
So it has not been very easy because of the stigma and the discrimination that we continue to hammer on. For persons with albinism, most of us even find it very difficult to go to places where there are a lot of people, because you get there and then you hear people saying all sort of negative things about you as a person with albinism, making you feel more uncomfortable, and that try to impede us from more or less participating in public programs or activities. However, persons with albinism have been involved in the electoral process in a way, even though we do not have a data to be able to testify that so and so number of persons with albinism have been participating in electoral process. I can confidently say that there have been instances where persons with albinism contested for elections at the local level, even though we haven't gotten a situation where a person with albinism has won such elections. We are aware of some other persons with albinism who are political parties leaders at the local level. And even myself, there was a time 2020 in particular, I expressed an intent to contest for an MP in my area, but due to one or two reasons that couldn't materialize. But one particular challenge that always prevents persons with albinism, particularly to vote, is the lack of understanding about our condition. Usually, before we vote, we have to go and join a very long queue. And sometimes you have to be standing on the sun. And for person with albinism, when I'm being exposed to the sun for about 30 minutes, I'll begin to feel some impact. And that can even result in giving me a skin cancer. So due to that, some persons with albinism, when they get to the polling centers and they realize that the lines or the queue there is so long, then they decide to go back home because they can't afford to stand under the scorching sun to cast their vote. And unfortunately, education too has not gone so much to the security and the EC officials about the preferential treatment for persons with disability. Also linked to the issue that some people think that persons with albinism are not persons with disability. So whatever opportunity that is available for persons with disability, some persons with albinism are denied of that opportunity. So based on these things, some of us on election days and even going to register for the voter ID card, if you are to go and register, you still have to join the queue. And if it happens like that, instead of you to stand there to the detriment of your own health, you better go back home. Because if you are alive, that is where you think of your rights. If you're not alive, what is the importance of the right to you?
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
So, Philip, we come back to another important thing. We've been talking about this on the Election Watch series, the issue about the preferential treatment that is supposed to be given to persons with disability.
Yeah, and Bishop, I like it again, what the H4P organization is doing, what makes us distinct, because for the past weeks, you've been discussing the various disability groups and how the preferential treatment related to them. And today you're talking about persons with albinism. Sometimes people wouldn't know that persons with albinism are part of the disability community. And that is because we don't know. And severally on the Helping Hand television show, you've interviewed persons with albinism that they have taught the audience what this whole thing is about. We don't want to sound scientific, but at a certain level in their development, sometimes they even lose their sight. Their vision becomes blurred, so that if you have a child with albinism in class and you are not schooled or educated as a teacher, you'll be wondering why this child comes to school and might not be able to write notes, because possibly the child is sitting at the middle part of the class or possibly at the back seat in the class. So the child is not appreciating what is happening in the class. But a good knowledge about the child's condition would make you place him or her at the front seat, because she will be closer to the board and can clearly see what you are teaching, because she can hear and will be able to replicate what you are going to demand from the child at the end of the day through exam or whatever means you will use to examine the child.
So the thing really is because people don't see people with albinism as having any visible disability.
Yeah.
They don't recognize them as part of the disability community.
But sometimes if you get closer to them, and you see, that's the power of relationship. H4P relates with them in person, and you begin to see when the weather changes, how they are sometimes, when they are in the sun, their reactions and all that. And they even share with you that I'm working on the sun because I had to apply a certain lotion on me to give me a certain level of protection. You see persons with albinism having black spots on their skins, and that is as a result of the effect of the sun rays on their skins. So if a person with albinism appears on the grounds or comes to the place, a polling station, to vote, I mean, the person has the right to be given that preferential treatment. The person should be allowed to vote and leave so that the person's health can be preserved. Because staying in the sun for that number of hours, few number of hours, and they're going to get all kinds of effects at the end of the day. And if you want to encourage persons with albinism to vote, then we need to prioritize the preferential treatment that has to be given them. And what are we asking for? That when they come, they should not be allowed to be in the queue.
This is also general
For the
to
other disability
all forms
organizations.
of disability.
Yes, exactly.
I definitely agree with you on that note. Well, I went ahead to ask Abdul Wahab Adam, my guest for today. I asked him if he could speak to measures that can be put in place to aid the participation of persons with albinism and, of course, other persons with disability in the electoral process. Let's take a listen as to what he had to say.
It has to be more of awareness creation. There should be a lot of awareness programs targeting both the EC officials and also persons with albinism. For what you know, EC might have trained their officials and informed them that when you see a person with albinism or one person with albinism comes to vote or register for the voter ID card, give the person preferential treatment. Maybe there will be a lot of pressure on that particular person. And if you as a person with albinism, if you're not aware and you don't demand it, then it means that you will end up not enjoying that opportunity. So if there is adequate awareness, even from the national to the local level, for persons with albinism to be aware that when they go to the electoral stations, they have the right to enjoy preferential treatment, I think they can demand it, and that can increase their participation in the political processes. It also has to be a collaboration between Ghana Association of Persons with Albinism and the Electoral Commission, so that we can dialogue for us to be able to advise EC what they can do to increase participation of persons with albinism in the electoral process. And also, we have to look at the political parties also as one of the main stakeholders in this exercise. They also have a role to play in a sense that they should also design accessible communication messages that can target everybody irrespective of their status. So persons with albinism would also be able to participate. And also, I want to say that persons with albinism too, we should always see ourselves as citizens. and then see it as a responsibility and also our right to participate in whatever national exercise that is being done. Because if not, we can stand to exclude ourselves. So just as the EC has the role to play, we also have the responsibilities to avail ourselves as persons with albinism. And I think Ghana Association of Persons with Albinism too should make a conscious effort to sensitize their members on their right to political participation. People feel that I'm just going to vote and create job for somebody's father or somebody's uncle, forgetting that it is your own right to enjoy as a citizen of the state. We have often heard this kind of statement always. So we have to make the process attractive to all of us.
Here's the Helping Hand Election War Series with the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned. Success is a product of hard and wise work. Here's 60-second success with the Bishop. Stay tuned.
Welcome to 60-second success with the Bishop, where I give you success nuggets for a successful life. Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. But small minds discuss people. Ideas rule the world. Ideas shape the world. Ideas progress the world. To be successful, you must either be an originator of an innovative idea, or you must be skilled and equipped enough to administrate an original idea. To be successful, you must be focused on working on ideas that create impact, ideas that make others better, ideas that make society better. Remember that ordinary people would always talk about other people, but extraordinary people would always talk about ideas that bring progress to other people. That is what makes you a successful person. It has taken 60 seconds for me to give you this success tip, but it will take more than 60 seconds for you to put it to work in your life. So start your journey to success now.
Here's the Helping Hand Election War Series with the voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Okay, so with the issue of the two main political parties having the disability desks inculcated in their structure, I asked him the same issue, what he thinks should be the focus of the disability desks of the two main political parties.
So what I would have advised or suggested to them is to amend the Persons with Disability Act at 715 so it can fully comply with the UN CRPD. Ghana has also committed to ratify the African Disability Protocol. However, no step has been made. But as a person with albinism, the African Disability Protocol does have a provision that is protecting persons with albinism against harmful cultural practices, which I believe that if Ghana ratifies it and it becomes legally binding in Ghana, then it means that we are able to fight these communities that do not allow persons with albinism to live around. So I would have first look at the amendment of Act 715 and then also the ratification of the African Disability Protocol. Then I can come to think about effective implementation of the inclusive education policy, which is very key to persons with disability, and also adoption and implementation of inclusive health policy that would allow persons with disabilities to have access to quality health care. And then finally, I would have also proposed adoption of employment equity policy that will give opportunity for persons with disabilities to be employed at both the formal and then the informal sector. And then finally, I could have recommended government rolling out a specific social protection program for persons with disabilities. That could have included mothers or caregivers of children with disabilities. Social protection is a social protection. Government can say that, okay, now I want to implement free healthcare for persons with disabilities, including their caregivers. That is social protection. Okay, I want to make a cash transfer of maybe 500 cedis to every person with disabilities, maybe who is not employed. Okay, I want to be paying parents of children with disabilities who are not employed, yet they have to give 100% care to their children. Those are examples of social protections government can consider. So I could have proposed these things to the political parties so then they can consider it in their manifestos.
It's the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
It's the music segment on the Helping Hand TV show.
I am who I am because of you. If it had not been for you, tell me where would I be? I was lost and sinking deep in sin. Yeah. But you reached out your hands and rescued me. No one can do the things you do for me. Oh, no one else but you. I am who I am because of you. Yeah. If it had not been for you, tell me where would I be? I was lost and sinking deep in sin. Oh, but you reached out your hand and rescued me. No one can do the things you do for me. Oh, no one else but you. But none yet, but none yet, but no one else but you. But none yet, no job but none yet, but no one else but you. Never thought that you could love someone like me, to give up your life for me, yeah. You even go on and call me your very own, yeah. So grateful for your love, your mercy and grace. No one can do the things you do for me, yeah. No one else but you. But none yet, but none yet, but no one else but you. But none yet, no job but none yet, but no one else but you. Cha-cha makabani tamabo, but none yet, but none yet. Cha-cha makabani tamabo, but none yet, but none yet. Cha-cha makabani tamabo, but none yet, but none yet. Cha-cha makabani tamabo, but none yet, but none yet. Moko 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 bani tamabo, moko 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 bani tamabo, moko moko bani tamabo, but none yet, but none yet. Moko 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 bani tamabo, moko moko bani tamabo, moko bani tamabo, but none yet, but none yet. Moko moko bani tamabo, moko 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 bani No, no one else but you. Bonon, yeah, no chapanon, yeah, bonon, no one else but you. Yeah.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
So Abdul Wahab Adam is a member of the Ghana Association of Persons with Albinism. I asked him as a representative of GAPA what the expectation is concerning the media. What do they expect from the media, especially within this season?
Yeah, so the media would have to help the sensitization and the awareness about the election, because the media has the role to educate us and also to inform us. They should be able to carry right information to us, encourage us as persons with disabilities. Let us understand our right to political processes so that we will be encouraged to also participate in the election. And I would also want to take this opportunity to say that the media should always try to operate within a peaceful atmosphere. Sometimes when you listen to some media houses, when it is getting to election, you are tempted to think that there is going to be violence listening to what they are saying. And as a person with disability, you don't expect me to avail myself at where I expect there will be violence, because I don't know how the outcome of that violence will be. So I would want to say that the media should always try to operate within a very peaceful atmosphere. So we feel that, yes, it is our right to go and vote. And as we are going there, we are going in peace and then coming back in peace.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Well, it's election season, and we have to make sure those of us in the disability community, we are not disenfranchised. Everything that has to be put in place so that we'll be free to fully participate in these elections. That's what we are doing here on the Election Watch series on the Helping Hand TV show. Philip, let me find out from you. H4P, we are campaigning for peace before, during, and after the elections. Talk to us about peace, the importance of peace. I know I ask you every day, but I don't want to be tired of asking you, because the issue of peace is very, very, very critical to us during these elections.
I'm saying today that there is nothing that one can compare to or with staying in your own land, growing up in your own country as a citizen, as against being a refugee in somebody else's country. I mean, the kind of treatment you can be given if you are on somebody's soil, being hosted as a refugee, you can never compare that with being in your own land, doing what you want to bring progress and development in your life. So that as we approach the election season, in fact, we are within the election season, the need for us to promote peace is important, because we don't want to be refugees in another person's country. We want to preserve Ghana. And another thing is that the reason why we are going to cast our votes is because we want a better Ghana. We can never arrive at a better Ghana if we are not enjoying a peaceful environment. And to enjoy a peaceful environment means that we are going to be tolerant, we are going to be patient, we are going to choose our words carefully, we are not going to be overly sensitive, we are not going to be overly active because of a party we are supporting. We are supporting a good cause so that Ghana will be better. So again, H4P is campaigning for us to prioritize Ghana above our personal needs. We should prioritize Ghana above our personal desires and our personal interests. Don't be too emotional and begin to act based on anger. If you have the betterment of Ghana at heart, you would be careful, you would have a lot of self-control. So what H4P is asking for is a lot of self-control within this period. If you are in a space that the argument or the discussion is going to, you can see that this argument is going to end up being creating a chaotic situation, withdraw, go back home, and let's live life. Because we want to see Ghana become better. We want to contribute significantly towards national development. And as disability advocates, we want to get a conducive environment for persons with disability. We are nowhere near there. We shouldn't worsen the case to add to the disability community we already have. We want to get more stronger people and create more formidable systems to promote everybody's, productivity in the nation. So we stand for peace as an organization, and we are asking Ghanaians to stand for peace.
Definitely, we stand for peace, and that is the message we are preaching on the Helping Hand TV show. We are advocating for peace, we are campaigning for peace. And so I asked my guest, Abdul Wahab Adam, to give his peace message for this season.
H4P Organization's campaign for peaceful elections 2024.
My message to persons with disabilities is that election is our right as citizens of Ghana. However, we should claim that right at the right time with the right mind. My advice is that all of us might belong to different political parties. We shouldn't indulge in unhealthy arguments that can lead us to some kind of violence. We can agree to disagree, but we should try not to indulge in unhealthy or unnecessary arguments. If we are able to keep ourselves to this, I am very sure that as persons with disability, when the day comes, we all go and vote. Once we cast our vote, if you don't have anything doing there like a party agent or whatever, after casting your vote, please go back home, and there are different channels you can monitor the results. You don't necessarily have to stand there and then wait for the results. Finish casting your vote, go home and rest. That is my message to persons with disabilities. And the peace message that I also have to all of us is that we should know that before whichever political parties, we were Ghanaians. Before whichever political parties, we are citizens of Ghana. And once we are citizens of Ghana, we are brothers and sisters. And we should all know that we just have one Ghana. And you and I have the responsibility to protect the Ghana that we have per our constitution and to ensure that Ghana is a peaceful Ghana for us to all live. And so let us keep this in mind, that we are one nation with a common destiny. We shouldn't allow anybody's interest to put us into problem.
Is the Helping Hand Election War Series with a voice of ability on air for persons with disability. Bishop Dr. Charles Kofi Hackman. Stay tuned.
Well, thank you very much. This has been the Election Watch series on the Helping Hand TV show with me, the voice of ability and for persons with disability. And my special guest has been Mr. Abdul Wahab Adam, Disability Inclusion and Governance Advisor at the Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations and member of the Ghana Association for Persons with Albinism. Thank you so much. And Philip, what can I say? Thank you so much for being with me within this series, all throughout this series. Thank you. We'll do this again next week. Thank you to DV Unlimited Company Limited and Fasty Chapel FCC, my proud sponsors. Special thanks to all those who contribute to H4P through the mobile money system. Thank you so much. God richly bless you. If you are not as yet part of those who contribute to the Helping Hand TV show, the H4P organization through the mobile money system, prayerfully think about it so that you would help us continue to do what we are doing. Thank you so much. Well, it's the Election Watch series. This is where we draw the curtains. I'll come your way again next week with another edition of the Election Watch series on your favorite show on TV, the Helping Hand TV show. Until then, remember, disability is not inability. Take care of yourselves, and God richly bless you. Bye for now.